Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing, and today I'm delighted to get on the channel Sean McComb. Yeah, it's my first time getting him on. Been a sort of while trying to get it organised, but yeah, good to finally get you on. And how are you today, Sean?
I'm good, yeah. I'm just actually in Amsterdam at the moment training. So, I do a lot of my camps out here with Pete Taylor in Amsterdam. And yeah, we've tried to get on a few times and it's been just, crossing paths. It's been difficult. Life gets in the way and we're both busy. So yeah, it's good to finally get on. But I'm good, yeah.
Yeah, good, good. And yeah, before we talk about, of course, your next fight is in Monte Carlo on the 6th of December against Hugo Micallef. Probably said
Micallef.
that completely wrong, but there you go. But yeah,
Hugo Micallef.
Micallef. There we go. And yeah, but before we'll talk about the Ben Crocker fight just briefly before talk about that fight, when you won the IBF European Super Lightweight title by unanimous decision 96-93 on all scorecards. Talk about that fight and yeah, talk us through it. Of course, starting in round one, got caught, came back up. Thing is, you got caught. It was like it was heavy as well, the knockdown, but you got up quite quickly from the knockdown.
Yeah, I just got complacent. Um, and switched off, lost focus, got too impatient, and Ben Crocker caught me with a great shot, and he caught me flush, he caught me clean. Immediately when I went down, I got straight back up, and I didn't feel wobbly or dazed by any means, and I was able to just go straight back to my boxing. I don't think I really, I don't think I put a foot wrong after that. I think I won every round after that, and I don't really think I took much more shots after that. So it was very clear and very focused after that. It was sort of like a wake up call.
Mm.
And and when I went back to the corner after the first round, I immediately says to my coach, I won't get hit with that shot again. And I didn't.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, when it landed, sometimes when the fighters get back up, they're on unshaky legs. Do you feel like it was just that Ben just timed it perfectly?
Yeah, he tamed it very well, and he told me after the fight that they were working on that shot for the whole camp. They were hoping that I would stab him with a 1-2 so they could slip into a right hand left hook, and he done his homework. It paid off for him for the first round, and then for me, I quickly shook it off. It was a flash knockdown. I got straight back up, and as I says, I feel I won the rest of the rounds.
Yeah, you didn't panic. You got back up, and arguably, you won the rest of the round. Do you feel like throughout the fight, he was sort of looking for that one shot throughout? Because you boxed quite well and getting out the way of that shot. He was sort of looking for the jackpot shot, wasn't he?
Yeah, I feel like he had his weight on the back leg and he kept waiting on that right hand. But obviously, my experience kicked in, and as you said, I didn't panic. I just stayed in control and just kept touching with the jab, head, body, changing the levels. And I feel like because Bam was waiting for that shot, he sort of let the rest of the fight get away from him.
Yeah. Do you feel like in a sort of way that sort of yeah, you said it did wake you up, but more alert. You were more elusive when you got back up.
Yeah, it was just, I just thought to myself, you know what, I'll not commit again to another punch. I'll just stick to singles, and then I'll entice Ben to come on to me, and I'll counter him. So ultimately, I was countering the counter puncher, and by doing that, I just had to stay, fainting, stay fainting, keep touching with the jab, and get into a good rhythm of doing that.
Would you say that you sort of beat Ben at his own sort of game in a way, sort of beat him to the punch each time?
Yeah, well, I mean, his tactics were to go out and outbox me, and I feel I outboxed him.
Yeah. Because mate, do you feel after that he thought he was like the bigger puncher? When he knocked you down, he got not over eager, but he was sort of yeah looking for that one shot. Do you feel like when you were going back to the corner that you could see him looking for just that one haymaker shot?
I could see it, and that's part of the reason why I didn't commit with any more punches. I just did the single jabs, and I was coming out low rather than coming out high. So whenever I was throwing a punch, I was coming out high. Where after that shot, I started to come out low. I was rolling after, and he couldn't tame it, so it worked well for me.
Yeah. And yeah, 96, 93 on the cards. Do you feel like that's a bit close, or do you feel like that's the right score? Did you have it wider?
No, I just feel, I'm happy enough. I didn't argue with the cards. There was, out of the 10 rounds, there was some subjective rounds. Obviously he started the round with a 10-8 round. He started the fight with 10-8 round. So he's 2 rounds up ultimately anyway in a 10 round fight. So for me to win maybe 6 or 7 rounds is fair to say. And there was like maybe one or two subjective rounds which were close, but yeah, to me it's not important. The most important thing is that all the judges seen it the same way, um and I got the win.
Yeah. Were you we're not going to go over old ground with Barboza, but were you slightly is there always a doubt in your mind, of course, that night where you got robbed against Barboza? Is there a little worry when it went to the scorecards due to a 10-8 round as well?
No, not really. Not in that fight because when they say unanimous decision and all three judges scored it the same, I was like, surely this has to be me. I've only lost 1 round. I felt I only lost 1 round clear, and uh, but when the Barboza fight was different because when they called it a split decision, I automatically knew because it wasn't a split decision, it wasn't even close. Ben Crocker fight was closer,
Hmm.
so um when they called a split decision, I knew what was happening. I had they have called a split decision out on the night of the Ben Crocker fight, I might have went, oh shit, this is happening again. But thankfully they called it unanimous decision and all scorecards were the exact same.
Yeah. What did it mean to you winning the IBO, not the IBO, IBF European? Sorry.
No, you know what? I was sort of left on the shelf for a year, just over a year, with no fights. No one would fight me, and I can understand why. I was high risk, low rewards. I had nothing to offer. So it was very nice to get my hands on a nice strap and maybe push up on the rankings. So yeah, it feels good to basically get my career back on track and to be pushing toward bigger titles now.
Yeah, 100%. Because after that Barboza fight, you yeah, you were sort of struggling to get fights. You weren't getting many opportunities, but that GBM got you a quick 6 round win in June, and then straight back out where you beat Ben Crocker for the title, and now you've got another big opportunity back on a matchroom show um, in Monte Carlo. Talk about how this fight with Hugo's come about.
Yeah, well, you know, he's a top ranked fighter, and it's a matchroom card. He's the local guy in Monaco and Monte Carlo, so it's his hometown. And I believe that one of the higher ups, maybe the Prince of Monaco, asked Matchroom would they put him on the card, and Matchroom said yes. Obviously, I'm not a Matchroom fighter, but they didn't have any 140 fighters. Um, who was at the level to take the fight. They were either high rank, like in the world rankings, or prospects. So they needed someone on the fringe, and I was one of them fighters. So they reached out to my management, and it was a no-brainer for me. Obviously it's a massive card, and it's a privilege to be boxing in such a great place, as well as having a great card. You've some superstars on the card, and it's a matching show. It's a great platform.
Yeah, 100%. And a few wins of yours have been on matchroom shows where you've won good little belts as well. So but yeah, it's a good off another big fight for you, another unbeaten fighter as well. Yeah, what do you sort of know about your opponent? To some of us UK fans, he's a bit what's the word, unknown in a way. You still there, Sean? We lost signal, but we're back. Yeah, I was saying about we were talking about the Hugo Micallef fight. I said that he's fairly yeah, I was saying he's another unbeaten opponent. What do you sort of know about Hugo? He's a sort of a little bit unknown to some of us UK fans. What do you know about him and why this fight now?
Yeah, well, he's what I know from him is more amateur. He boxed at a good pedigree as an amateur. He boxed in the Olympic qualifiers and he's been on the scene with the World Championships and stuff, boxed at a good level. So he will have fought a lot of international stage, and he'll have a lot of experience in that field. But I just feel as a professional, he's yet to face anyone of my caliber and anyone of the caliber that I've boxed. So it'll be a big step up for him. And usually when it's a step up, you're raised to the occasion. So I do expect him to come in and be a tricky operator. For me, it's just about using my experience and and doing whatever is required to get the job done. I know what sort of style he has. I know I feel he can be a bit messy and a bit tricky at times, which will be it can be frustrating for opponents. But for me, it's important just not to get frustrated and just stay patient. And for me, like to fight someone like that at this stage in my career, he's trying to step up, and I'm trying to push on. So for me, it's a no-brainer to be boxing on a matchroom card, and you know it opens up opportunities for me going forward. Especially coming into the new year, 2026. So yeah, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, 100%. And of course, beat if you go on and beat him, beating like another undefeated fighter. He's highly ranked as well, talked about, of course, and in his own backyard as well. I mean, you're no stranger to going into to fight in somebody else's backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, well, as I say, I'm usually a lot of times I'm an away fighter because of not having a promotional outlet behind me until recently. GBM stepped in and gave me a promotional deal in a box. But even at that, I'm still boxing in the UK. It's across the pond, and um, it's not I don't be discomfort or I don't be uncomfortable in different territory. I'm pretty experienced in this game, and yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it the older way it is.
Am I right in saying this? Yeah, you are signed with GBM and Izzy Azif, and yeah, are you on a fight deal with them?
Yeah. So of 3 fight deal, I've boxed twice with them on their cards with one more fight left.
Ah, cool, cool. Um, yeah, you said you're out in Amsterdam at the minute. Do you sort of do you go to Amsterdam a lot for your training camps?
Yeah. I base myself here now for camps because obviously my coach left Ireland and he's living here now. So, you know, obviously it's very easy to go and find another coach, but not to the quality of the coach I have. And I believe Pete Taylor's the best coach in boxing, and we work so well together. I don't believe I've had a single bad performance from I've joined up with Pete. Um, so for me, he's the right fit for my career, and I think we'll really do it together.
Yeah. What's it like over there, training wise, compared to when you were training back home in Ireland?
The atmosphere is a little different. Back in Ireland, we had a good team. We had a great, you know, we had great banter and great crack in the gym. Over here, slightly different, but to me, you're here to train, you're here to work. So, there's plenty and plenty of bodies. They're all great people, all nice guys. They're very welcoming, and the hospitality is good. So I enjoy it. I enjoy being in the city and getting my training done, then and go for some food and some rest in between sessions. Train in the morning, train in the evenings. It's great.
Yeah, you said about your that you've boxed at higher level and a higher caliber than your opponent Hugo. Do you feel like that can get you over? the line. And of course, you said he's a scrappy, he's a messy fighter. You have fought a few fighters who are scrappy, but how do you sort of when you're in there deal with sort of scrappy fighters and them trying to make it frustrating?
It's just it's just about using your feet and using your distance control and knowing when they're if they're dropping their head, you just be patient, just work behind the jab, just stick to basics. That's going to be it's going to be important in this fight to just stick to my basics and don't complicate too much.
Yeah. And yeah, have you sort of got a message to not only your fans, because I know you have a good support, and the boxing fans in general, what they can expect from you live on DAZN December 6th in Monte Carlo?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's going to be a great performance to end the year. It's been a frustration. It's going to be a lot of frustration coming out of me. I've been on the back burner for over a year. I had a 6 round warm up fight and then my first like major fight back was with Ben Crocker in 16 months. Now I've got the cobwebs off. I've really done 2 camps back to back now, so they want to see a blistering performance.
And before I let you go, do you want to shout out anyone, your coaches you mentioned a minute ago, your team, promotion, anybody backing you?
Yeah, look, listen, all the sponsors, my sponsors are all great people. You've Cozy Roof, that praise guy, who've continuously, you've CSBO group. They've all backed me to the hills all the way through. Um, Travelettes, there's plenty there who've just been part of my career for so long, and it's not possible without them guys. So big shout out to those.
And yeah, from me, Sean, a big thank you for your time today, and all the best December 6th. Good luck with the fight.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.
Thank you, mate. Bye.